Keeping doors open during instruction. If you're level 3, which you guys are, or 4, then you keep them open if you want, and you close them if you want. If you're not level 3 or 4, then if your building is sprinkled, like a newer building, you will keep your doors open during core instruction. You will close your doors if you don't have a sprinkler system and it's fire hazard. Restroom procedures. This is written down. Write it down yourself. Take a picture of it. If you're level 3, 4, or 2, and any high school, whatever, NES, non-NES, restroom procedures are your own. You do not want to see any memes of a high school kid with a cone on his head.
Except for level 1.
No. And level NES, it's elementary and middle schools, yes, follow the restroom procedures of the NES playbook. But that doesn't concern this group, or your students. So principals will own these things next year and not say the district made me do it. Okay? This is what you can do. And if it's happening, then you need to have a conversation with the principal. MRS strategies. We've written it here because MRS strategies is a particular term just for engagement. And with the particular MRS strategies, we're saying is only NES. Your schools, A and B schools, have to use engagement strategies of whatever sort. We don't want it blamed on MRS. Use whatever engagement strategies that make sense, principal, teachers. Use whatever engagement strategies that make sense to you. Guess what? Your teachers are going to use parent share anyway. Why? Because it's a good strategy to engage kids. Your teachers are going to use some of the things like whiteboards. Don't say that's an NES thing, that's an engagement thing. Okay, because you don't have to use any of the MRS strategies, principal, teachers. So, here you have it. So, use engagement strategy, by the way, MRS is the best engagement strategy, so you can see a lot of teachers using it. They're not being forced to use MRS. They're being forced by their principal to use engagement strategies. All right. Field trips and assembly. I had a girl come up to me the other day, a student, and said, my school only had 2 assemblies this year, and last year we had 5. And I said, oh, I'm sorry, why is that? And she said, because of you. And it's like, I don't even know you. I don't know what school, and it's not an NES school. So the point is, there's no restriction on assemblies, especially at A and B schools. You have as many assemblies as you want. That's down to your principal. There was never any restrictions for A and B on assemblies. Or field trips. You just have to follow the procedures on field trips. So I'm the only one that can approve out-of-state field trips. That's by board policy. By the way, I've approved every single one but 2. One was a week-long trip cruise for a drill team to do team building on the cruise. During school, during the week or 2 before starting. True story. So I said no to that one. And there was only one other. But every other one has been approved. So field trips and assemblies can carry on. Dress code. I'm an old guy. I have in my mind the way the student should dress, but I recognize that I'm not with it anymore, so we let the schools have the dress code they want to have. So if you have any dress code issues, that is your school's deal. Okay? So, go to your principal or teachers if there's a dress code problem. Discipline procedures, same thing. Only the NES elementary and middle schools have to follow the NES playbook for discipline. By the way, that has helped those schools tremendously. They help those schools tremendously. For your level 3, any level 2, use the discipline procedures that you have. Whether it's, some of you have restorative justice, PBIS, positive positive behavior intervention support system. You know, there's lots of different programs out there, and that's up to the school, okay? That's up to the school. Library use and procedures, that's again up to the school. How do you check out books? How do you know if you don't want to check out books, whether you have a library, whether you don't. Some schools have it, some schools don't. That's up to you, your school. Holiday celebrations. This, we're going to give out some instructions. There's not a lot of autonomy in this. Here's what I mean. We have 180 student-teacher contact days. It's an expectation that every one of those days counts. We're going to have instruction every day, 180 days. Now, we won't have celebrations on Halloween. I'm telling you that. So, but the day before winter break, we're going to say to elementary schools in particular, yes, you can take the last 45 minutes or, you know, to celebrate. We'll put out instructions for all the schools. So, every day we have instruction. We're going to have, every day we have kids in school, we're going to have instruction. That's what a high performance culture and a culture of essentialness requires. Holidays, use of cell phones. We debated this. In the end of the day, we think it's a good policy, and we're going to continue it. No cell phones during the school day anywhere in the district. There's no autonomy on that, except high school can say you can use it at lunch if high schools want. Other than that, there's a no cell phone policy in the district across the board. And the reason why is because a lot of principals want that covered. They like the fact that there's no cell phones, and they like the fact that the district is saying this is a district-wide policy. There's a lot of parents who like it too. There are some who don't, but most parents do, and there's a nationwide movement against cell phone use. There may be legislation at some point. But we know that it's very problematic, and so we are having a no cell phone use across the board. And then finally, extended school day hours. Only NES schools have to be open at 6:30. That's been happening all year, by the way. 6:30 is when they open, and they can't close before 1 hour after instruction. That does not apply to level 2, 3, or 4. Only NES. So no one has said if the school day starts at 8, you open your doors when you open your doors. If it's quarter to 8, if it's 7:30, if it's 7:15, that's up to the school. You follow me?